Welcome to Albion. In this video we'll be trying to quickly start up a character by getting T8 Reaver and some specs for being able to do open world PvP. First off, we have to get through the tutorial. As part of the tutorial we have to buy a mule, however nothing stops us from buying a second one, and it only costs 3 silver on this market. If we keep it until we reach the Royal Continent, we can sell it on the marketplace for a 4000 silver profit. We gather the required resources to build our first set of tier 2 armor. We're going to craft a bow, a cloth helmet, and leather chest piece and shoes. This is going to be our set going forward, and we're going to be leveling this up. Finally, we have to pick our starting city. I chose Forest Cross to be close to Lymhurst, but you can choose basically any starting city. First thing off the tutorial island, we do an expedition to get a royal sigil so that we have enough money to buy our first tier 3 set. We then go to Lymhurst where we sell everything we've got so far and we purchase our first tier 3 set. This will allow us to fame up to tier 4. We then choose to go to the Black Zone as it is by far the quickest way for a solo new player to gather fame. Since we don't have any Reaver levels yet, even tier 5 mobs can be a challenge. However, it is very worth it to take them on as you can quickly gather the first levels of Reaver. Usually if people see you fame farming in low level gear, they will choose to leave you alone. But even if they don't and they kill you, you shouldn't be afraid of dying in the Black Zone with such low level gear, because it is easily replaceable. Farming in the Black Zone is just way too worth it and way too quick to not do, even with the added risk of being attacked by other players. It takes us only a few minutes to unlock tier 4 equipment, so we take the opportunity to go back to town and get our upgrade.
Made a profit?
After about 10 more minutes of grinding, we get enough fame to be able to equip tier 5 gear, so we go back to town to buy it. We will be using this 5.1 Warbow set because we want to spec it up. This is gonna be the set we're using for PvP in open world and mists as well. It took us less than 2 hours to get tier 7 Grandmaster Reaver by fame farming mobs in the open world. This just goes to show how fast you can fame up a new character by going in the Black Zone. We begin the following day after all our items have sold on the market, which leaves us with about 400,000 silver. This gives us a buffer and allows us to rebuy our gear if we die. So, going forward, we should be able to take PvP fights. As we're roaming the Black Zone, we find a chest. Luckily, it is uncontested, so we can easily claim the loot for ourselves. Yeah, so needless to say, we got quite lucky with the loot in this chest. We just got an 8.4 Guardian armor in the first chest opened on this account. Obviously, after picking it up, my goal was to get down as quickly as possible, so I just ran to a safe place and immediately journeyed back. The only problem with an 8.4 item is that it is very expensive and it takes a lot of tax silver to list it on the marketplace. I actually tried to sell it either on the trade channel directly to a player, but I wasn't able to do this by the end of this episode. So I guess this makes the challenge kind of fair because we will not be using the silver gained from this incredibly lucky drop, at least until the next video. I scouted this player fighting a Spiky boss and I managed to gank him. He's very low when I get to him, so he has no chance of escaping. Also, this is our first kill on the account. Here we are lucky enough to find the medium chest without having anyone that could contest us. There is this battle axe player orbiting around, but sadly he does not dismount. I definitely could have won the 1v1 fight against him, because I could kite him indefinitely. Oh well, just getting the medium chest by itself is good enough though, and we get almost 500k out of it. Next up, I'm trying to contest a small chest. There are two other players here, and initially they did not seem to be in the same party. However, as soon as one dismounts, I can see that they did party up to try to kill me. At the beginning of the fight, I keep my distance because I do not know what spells they are using. However, I realize the nature staff is on the damage queue, so he cannot really heal his teammate. This gives me a much better chance to win, otherwise it would have been pretty much impossible. They seem to be quite new, so the fight wasn't that much of a challenge. Also, at this point the battle axe goes AFK for a few seconds, which gives me enough time to just kill the nature staff, and then I can take on the battle axe on its own. Next up, we finally went to the Mist, where I found the dual swords to fight. However, I was way too greedy in trying to fight him. I jumped straight into him and he destroyed me with his damage. This is our first death on the carrot. Since Mist didn't work out that well, we go back to open world farming. We bait this bloodletter by getting our mount low when we fight this mob. He dismounts and the fight begins. For some reason he uses his execute here to try and steal the mob, but I still get the fame because I dealt most of the damage. I should have turned on him quicker once he used the execute, but I can still catch up to him. We chase him down for a while and then we get third-partied by another warbull. Here I use my assassin jacket to get out of combat as quickly as possible so I can regen as much HP as possible before I get in combat with the third party. This is quite an even matchup. He seems to have a bit of IP advantage. I try to move side to side as much as possible so I can dodge his E, which represents most of the damage of the warbull. We win the initial trades, so now we can just run him down and we have won this fight. Wow, this guy had tier 7 tools on him. That's 500k right there. This was our biggest kill so far. And there we go, we have Elder Reaver now. We can kill tier 8 mobs without problems, and that is our goal achieved for what we wanted to do in our 3-day free premium. We have 4 hours left, and yeah, we can go back to town, count up all our money, and we're going to go to the Mists probably. So with our 3 days of free premium, we have achieved the goals. We now have earned enough fame to have tier 8 Reaver, which means we can kill tier 8 mobs. This allows us to go in the mist and not be scared if we find a tier 8 mist, because all the mobs in there are tier 8. During our 3 days of premium, we got almost 3 million fame, or close enough. That fame got us able to wear tier 7 equipment, and we have level 38 in all our specializations. So we have 38 specialization in warbows. So across the 3 days we only had 5 hours of total playtime, so we managed to make quite good progress. If you'd like to see this series continued, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.